How's it going, everybody? Happy Thursday. It is the big thing. Happy July 4th, everyone. Don't blow your dick off with a firework. That's what we say here in East Michigan. So I appreciate everything that you're doing. I really do. I know you got a hot dog in one hand. You got a beer in the other one. I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but you're doing something. So you're here with me and Brett. That's right. Hold on. Let me think about this. What are we doing? I don't know. I'm bouncing back and forth. It's right before the it all goes down. It all goes down in the town. So I'm so glad you're here. I'm just so glad you're here. Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everywhere else that podcasts are found. So hit that subscribe button or don't. What the fuck do I care? All right, here we go. Let's go. Where's, you know, like that intro? All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's the big thing. It's me and Brett.
Hey.
How's it going?
That's all right. That's quite the intro.
I thought it was a good one.
That's a treadmill nug intro right there.
If I've ever seen one. Not on my watch. Hold on. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to move you over. Why can't I move you over?
I have no idea.
Hold on. I think I got you. Yeah, look at that. Just happy horse shit.
I don't even know what I look like or when I'm on air. That's the only thing with this is that...
This program, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you don't know when you're on
but it looks
the
better.
air.
It sounds better, so I don't care. Roxy's not here today. She's out of town. So...
Typical Roxy.
Typical Roxy. Oh, she's not out of town. I think she's running around the joint in Disneyland. All right, so Roxy's out of town, and Brett and I are going to be doing a show a LaRousse here today as Brett's back fiddling with the stick.
Yeah.
And what have you been doing? Usually you seem a lot more like you than you were last time we spoke because you had just gotten off the plane or I guess the day before, and you were a little loopy to say the least.
Yeah. I got my paint shirt on. I'm doing a little manual labor today, painting the floor of the studio here. And
it looks like that's going to stop pretty soon.
What's that?
I said it looks like the manual labor will stop pretty soon.
Yeah. Good to get that done. And, I always have little fix-it stuff around here.
I was joking because you're coming into town.
Oh, yeah. Gotta do some painting there.
Gonna do some stuff. And then you get to do some, I mean, now I know the lay of the land a little better now.
Yeah. Now we can know exactly which Starbucks to hit on the
100%. No, I got my coffee machine now, man. Don't worry about that. How much money I'm going to save on your ass now?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm going to worry about Uber Eats. Do we even do Uber Eats? I don't think that's true. I hate that sound.
Hello?
I hate that sound.
He's having supper right now.
All right. So are you going to watch Beverly Hills Cop this weekend?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, it is. Beverly Hills Cop 4 is now out on the Netflix, and the reviews came in before it aired. It debuted yesterday or today, whenever. No, today. Who cares? It debuted, and Netflix is set. It is launched. Beverly Hills Cop. The reviews are out at the current time when we're reading this. 69%, which is better than any of the sequels had done. So some of the people say it's entertaining enough. And
that's what
that's what you want to hear.
Filmmaker wants.
That it's entertaining enough. Well, but I think it's just the whole. I was having this conversation with my wife the other day. I don't know what we were talking about. That she watched that Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron movie, and I said, "How was it?" She said, "It was fine. It's something to watch." And I was like, "A movie like that 20 years ago would have been put in the theater with those stars." I mean, they're essentially big movie stars do television movies now because they get paid what they would have gotten paid to do movies 20 years ago. So they do them, and people will watch them, and you have that kind of romantic comedy stuff that doesn't play in the theater unless you make it for cheap and you do something like the Anyone But You movie with what's his face, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, and you make hand over fist because that movie didn't cost anything to make because those two didn't have a high salary at the time.
Yeah.
So you find those kind of movies. But Beverly Hills Cop is one where I think you probably could have done that if you released it in September also and gone for a theatrical release. You might have, but maybe it's just okay. And they're like, yeah, this is okay enough to put on streaming, but not good enough to put in the theater. Maybe that's what they felt when they shot it. Like, because Bad Boys, they put in the theater.
Is this a new Axel Foley, or is this?
No, it's Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got Judge Reinhold in it. It's got Taggart. It's got those three guys in the movie. They're not, and I have no idea. The trailer to me looked. The problem with the trailer is that it feels like in the same way that, and I haven't seen the movie, so just the trailer. But when I saw Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, not the one that we saw, but the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
And
everybody's favorite.
Right. It felt like he was just Harrison Ford being Harrison Ford, wearing the fedora and everything. It didn't really feel like it was Indiana Jones, right? You feel like, okay, this in the trailer felt like Eddie Murphy playing Axel Foley, where I just watched Beverly Hills Cop 1 on the plane when I came from LA to New York, and it's just so good. I'm sure he's got his Eddie Murphy isms, but he just defined who that character was, Yeah. Love that movie so much. When was the last time you saw that thing?
Oh God, long time.
It's so good. What were you watching on the plane?
We had a funny moment coming back from the Budapest, where I look over my wife's screen and I look at my screen, and Cillian Murphy is on both screens. She was watching Oppenheimer.
Oh, good for her.
And I was watching Dark Knight. No, is he in that?
He is. He's in Dark Knight, but
oh no, I was watching Quiet Place 2. Sorry.
It's so funny you say that because when you initially said you were watching him, I automatically thought Quiet Place 2, and then you said Dark Knight,
and then it was like, oh shit, Emily Blunt. We were like in this, hilarious. Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt,
and it wasn't coordinated.
No, not at all. And then she started something else, and he was in it on her screen.
Peaky Blinders.
No, I can't remember what. But that cat's everywhere, and I like the Quiet Place too. That was fun.
I need to watch it again. I went to see the screening of Quiet Place Day 1 in the city, and it takes place in Manhattan. So it was like very surreal walking through the streets of Manhattan, getting into the theater. It starts in Manhattan. So
is this a separate storyline from the small town?
It's a prequel. It's a prequel that it's separate from that small town. It is the first day of the whole thing with Lupita Nyong'o, and it all goes down in New York City when it all starts, and you just see kind of the chaos ensuing. I liked it. It's fine. And I went back to that screening room that you and I went to. That what the hell was it called? Whatever it was called. I went to that room at Hudson one. Yeah. And man, it's such a good room. I went and I saw Horizon, American Saga Part 1. It's like I think I'm still in the theater. It's that long, but it's I liked it. It's long. And so I learned a few of the theaters. I have to learn a little bit more of them. But I think when you're here, I'm trying to think. So you're going to be here next week. So if you're here next week, I'm trying to think. Upcoming, let's see, the movies that are coming out next week, Brett Sheridan, are now Despicable Me 4 comes out. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But then Fly Me. I'm going to see Fly Me to the Moon. That's the one you wanted to see. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Fly Me to the Moon. But I think the week that you're here, I might be able to take you to go see Twisters.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one to see.
Twisters.
Yeah, unless they screen Deadpool and Wolverine really early. Unless they screen it really early when you're here, because it's supposed to come out July 26th. So Usually, they sometimes they screen it 2 weeks before.
I'd be down for that.
I know you would, but I wouldn't take it. No, I would take it. But
Yeah, in other news,
Yeah.
saw Dune
it's part 2.
and part 2. I fell asleep in twice and still haven't seen it.
Would you watch?
So-
If you tried to watch that on the plane for the first time, I'll show you.
No. We watched it at home, but like I fell asleep 2 times, so I still don't know how that second one ends up. It's not like I wasn't enjoying it, but I don't. The first night we tried to do them back to back, which was a bad idea.
That. So you mean
And the second night, I think we just started it way too late, and it was like
movie.
I couldn't remember where I fell asleep, so I think I was kind of lost when we started. So I got to go back and watch that second one. But
pissing me
I
off.
don't know how I feel about him.
You're pissing me off. There's no reason for it. It's so good. I watched it again. That's another one I watched on the plane because I had seen it already.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see it. Yeah, I already seen it, but loved it and just watched it again. The ending because I hadn't finished it on the plane, so I watched it at home the other day. But you remember? Yeah, that's right. Do you remember when we had? I got myself a lightsaber, by the way. I didn't tell you this.
Oh, nice.
Because remember we were talking about we needed to get one for the studio. Check it. Yeah, watch your mouth. Hold on. This thing is amazing. Wait, you change the colors on it. Hold on, check this out. Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. You know,
Nice.
I might as well just tell people about it now. I'll tell you about that, and I'll tell you about AG1 right now. Here you go. Just take a listen. And I got to tell you about AG1. You guys know AG1. I mean, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know that I love AG1. And people keep asking me. They notice. John even said when I started, new look, 20 pounds I lost. One of those reasons, AG1 became part of my routine. Because for a long time, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. It just wasn't. For me, I read labels. I verify that everything is up to the quality I need. And that is why I've stayed with AG1 for as long as I have. It is a research-backed foundational nutrition supplement. And it delivers daily nutrients, gut health support, and is backed by multiple research studies so you can trust what you're putting into your body. Because I like coffee. I used to drink so much coffee to keep up, but I don't need it anymore, not as much. Because after drinking AG1, I have realized that I have all this energy and I need less coffee to power my day. It turns out I'm not alone. Because in a research study, 91% of people noticed they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. 97% of people in a research study felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. That's crazy. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That's me. Energy is a majorly important reason why it comes to I need so much energy for parenting. I can tell you that right now. AG1 contains ingredients to sustain energy so you can be the best version of yourself within each day. And it really has worked for me, and it's helped me on the plane, everything. It's easy, it's satisfying to start your journey with AG1. If you go to AG1 and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. You got to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. It's the one product I trust to support my whole body health. It's AG1. Nerd Armor. And I told you guys about this. Like, I was contacted by Nerd Armor, and look at this. This is absolutely, this is a Darth Malgus saber. And
Is that it making noises?
yeah. So check this out. This is from Nerd Armor, and it lights up.
So cool.
Yeah. And you can change, you go to the app itself and you can change the settings, you can change the color. And it's absolutely incredible. It's pretty incredible. And you connect it to the app, you can do different sounds. It's got if I do it towards the red one, also the red saber, and you can put Palpatine's voice on it, which is amazing. And you can get all these different sound fonts, which is great because if you buy a Pixel or a Profile Saber, the customers get over $150 in custom sound bites from JLorian.com, and you can load that into your Saber's card. It's pretty awesome. You can choose if all these different hilts. You can get Jedi, you can get Sith. and I put the link in the description, and you can definitely get a code there from me because it's really, really amazing. I love it. Steph, what did you? I mean, you're looking at this. What do you think about this?
It's so cool. I feel like I shouldn't do this, but if I ever had a home invasion, I feel like
Yeah.
that would be pretty
It's the best.
optimal. That'd be an optimal weapon.
I absolutely like. Yeah, when they got in contact with me, I was like, yeah. And when I was talking to the guy who owns the company, he goes, well, what would you want? I said, surprise me. And I was like, but go to the dark side. Let's do dark side stuff. And he sent me this one and this hilt. I mean, look at the hilt. It's
so
like,
cool.
It is.
It's so legit.
It's so legit. And I told him, I was like, I love this thing. My new office. I was, there's a lot of like really legit business people in this office that I'm in New York. And I'm like walking around with like a lightsaber, like just like, I'm like, pay your taxes. So anyway, all right. Thank you to Nerd Armor. And of course, thank you to AG1. As always, it helps out the show tremendously. If you can, you want to support the show, then get yourself something wonderful. Who doesn't want a lightsaber? And who doesn't want to feel good when you're doing it? So you get energized. Have an AG1 and swing the lightsaber around and cut a pumpkin in half. What do I know about it? Yeah. How's everything else going? How's that? I like that I tweeted out your scene.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We've been trying to make an effort to just shoot fun little ones like that, knock out like 4 of them in a day, shoot them on iPhones and stuff. So, in between, and I got another one coming out. I think I don't know when they drop this stuff, but yeah,
Okay.
keep going over there and liking and subscribing. And the podcast is going strong. The Everything's a Game podcast.
Nice. Who hosts
our
that?
good pal Narcolepsy.
Who hosts that?
The host of that is each week it's a different person. We have like a game master, so they do each week they play like 3 different games that are are board game related or trivia and stuff like that, and it's super fun. And then I was thinking, I mean, next time you're in town or something, we'll have you come in and be a guest, and I'm was probably going to invite some of the crew to come in and come promote this show on our channel.
Well, it's a good idea. It's a good idea, and maybe that's a good way to get you over to some of these people's houses because they need it.
I've already been on the horn with Winston.
Oh, good,
because he was having some Roadcaster stuff, and I said, hey, I got to get over there and fix that camera for you.
Got to fix that, and you got to get Mike too. Mike's mic is fine, and his lighting's a little better, but he needs help. And then Roxy's almost there. That camera she's got is good. It just needs a little bit of, like, I think lighting problem. We had a good interview. Got a couple interviews so far on the channel. We had Jamie Campbell Bower, who, of course, I forget, where are you at Stranger Things? What?
Yeah, all the way.
You finished?
I had
Vecna on. I had him on. I had him on for an hour, and he was great. He was one of my favorite interviews ever. So he was what a cool dude he was. So I talked to him for a bit, and then talking about another cool dude. So I had on Chris Mazzilli, and so Chris is the co-host of Robert Downey Jr.'s that sweepstakes show that he does, the car show on Max.
Dude, I want the electric VW bus on that thing.
Did you watch the show?
I haven't watched the show. I've seen clips of it or whatever, but I want to check it out. But it's all like he's giving away.
He gives away. So, but this guy was the guy who basically came up with the ideas with Downey to say, hey, you should do it this way. You should do this with your cars. And he co-hosts the show with him. And I had him on, but he also co-owns the Gotham Comedy Club.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm actually going to his. I sent him an email this morning, and I'm going to go check out his car place when you might actually be here when we go. So maybe you'll come with us to go look at the car place because he invited us down to go check it out. So maybe
that would be awesome.
That'd be good.
That's such a cool idea to take classic cars and make them electric like that.
I wish that you were available on that show because you could ask them a bunch of that stuff too. But we'll go check him out. But then, so Roxy and I just interviewed Sam Morril, the comedian.
Oh, okay.
And that's on Tuesday. So, and then it looks like I'm going to get Hawk from Cobra Kai on the show. So that's going to be one. I got one today that if I get it, there's two particular people that if I get, and they're about half an hour interviews apiece. And man,
Gary Busey.
do you remember the time that you were on a rooftop with me and I was preparing to eat your left toe, but you told me that there was not enough protein in it. So instead, I ate the neighbor's toe, and there was. Thank you, Gary.
Have you seen the clip with his son's Jake Busey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's getting in the car and he's got like Gary's getting in the car and he's got a briefcase and Jake's like, oh yeah, keeping it 1970s all the time.
No.
And there's a hat on the dashboard and he goes, what's this? And he goes, what's a hat? What are we gonna do with it? He goes, I thought I might wear it.
No, but it's amazing. They should have their own show. But I'm telling you, after speaking with that guy on a rooftop twice, I don't think you just can't do a show with him. It just
it would have been a nightmare.
You just can't. I mean, did you ever see when he was the judge, when he was that show that they did where it was like the People's Court, but he was a judge for like animal lovers or something. It was.
Yeah, I bet I got to check it out now.
It's fairly scripted, pretending that it wasn't, but it's still hilarious to watch. The best thing he's ever been in was Entourage. That was the best.
I never watched Entourage.
You should that scene, but the stuff with him in it, because there's no world where he was sticking to the script, and Jeremy Piven goes with it, and he's like, and he just says something along the lines, and he's like, "You're just gonna spin right off the axis," whatever he says to it. It's hilarious. But what's
going on with the Pivster?
Haven't seen him in a bit. I thought he
get canceled or anything.
I think he did for they went after him for a little bit, but I think he bounced back from it. I don't remember. I don't know. It seems like everybody did at one point.
Yeah.
But then, what else? So those are some big ones. And then I had we have Robert Eiler coming in for AJ Soprano himself.
Nice.
Is coming in. You knew that. You're going to help me with this.
I just saw a clip. Do they have a podcast or were they just on?
No, it's him. Yeah. I just sent it to you.
Is that what it was?
That's exactly what it was. Robert Eiler and Jamie Lynn Sigler have their own podcast, and
I just totally out of the blue.
That. You just watched it. You just found it. No, for no reason. No reason at all. But yeah.
Did you know that?
Did you know he has his own podcast? No, I didn't know, Brett. I didn't know. Thanks for telling me. You're very astute. That's what I like about you. That's what I like about you.
Woo. Ooh, lolly.
Yeah. Come on, Brett.
Blowing your dick off.
Come on. Brett is cool. Sometimes he's a fool. When he was a little younger, my man liked to drool on a pussy. Jeez. I'm sorry. Did I spill your secrets? Did I spill your motherfucking secrets? I'm sorry. I know. That was meant to be discreet. But it wasn't. I remember that one time we went to Kmart and we were walking and I said, I need to get some peanut brittle. And you said, okay, and you pulled your dick out for some reason. Why'd you do that, you crazy fucker?
I don't know.
You just felt like it.
I do.
You just felt like it. That's why I like you. That's why you've only been arrested 3 times in Peru.
Hey, allegedly.
That's right. Allegedly. No offense. Right? No offense. One time I put someone up a fence and fucked them raw, and they liked it. They said, put me up against the fence. I said, okay, what is it, old chipmunk balls? And they said, fuck yeah, baby. It was a zebra. A zebra named Leaky.
Leaky the zebra. Check this out.
Shaved her ass.
Whoa! I can change.
Wide shot. Speaking of wide shots, you ever seen Elena Croft? Elena Croft. She got a big fat ass. What? I can't turn it off.
Yes.
Yeah, I just realized I could switch up my camera during the show.
I like that. Let me see. Yeah, let me see that wide shot. You know what? Shit. I wish you were closer. I'd put all those humps there.
Oh yeah, I could like switch us within the show.
See if I had, hold on, let me get you. Yeah, like look at that. I could switch it for God's sakes.
And I've got a
Yeah,
two
look
shot.
at that. Yeah, I like it. And it's just, how far away is it from where I used to live? That's where Roxy is.
I would say 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, not
It's a track.
We've got, well, now you're out of whack. There you go, perfect. So yeah, the problem is though, I was telling Roxy last week on the show, I was trying to get her to move to New York. The same thing I would say to you, is that the channel has to blow up. The channel blows up, and then I get to a place where I'm like, hey, listen, I'll pay you guys to go drive to the studio where Brett is.
Yeah.
A lot easier to do. I just, for right now, you just can't do it. But that would be great.
I know I can make Roxy's look, and I know Winston's is just a matter of framing and maybe a wide angle lens on.
Well, now the Coy's over there, and I think, and Mike just needs a little better lighting. His microphone's fine. His lighting's a little. Nobody. I mean, Coy's the only one that when he's at his house, it's awful. But at Winston's, it's funny. It just looked like Winston brought his kid to work.
Yeah, little Coy.
Little Coy. That's exactly what it was. It was little Coy. Remember when we did our special, the summer movie preview special? Me and Roxy, and we were talking about the movies we thought were going to do really well. I can't remember what we had for June. I have to go back and look, but I know it was May. I had said Apes, and I think I was right. June was whoever said. I think we all said Inside Out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'd go back and look.
We all agreed that Minions would bomb.
Right, you said that. And so that's where our next. And well, you to be fair to yourself, you changed your tune at the end when you went and you did the research and realized that they all made $1 billion. Well, let me add to that. So the Minions, Despicable Me 4 comes out this weekend. It is headed for a $200 million opening weekend debut. So Despicable Me 4 opens in cinemas on Wednesday, and the film is reportedly on track for, 120 million haul over the Wednesday to Sunday period in North America. The film's already opened overseas like Australia and has already nabbed 30 million for the 25.5 for those markets so far. By the end of Sunday, the film is expected to pull in around 80 from overseas, which will probably push it to 200 million. So far, the markets that the film has opened resulted in franchise records being broken. This likely won't happen domestically, though, as the second film and the two Minions all hit the 140 mark over their first 5 days. There are critical reviews for the films. They're mixed and on par with the third and the second lowest of the franchise, just ahead of Minions. Partially impacting that is still the fact that Inside Out 2 is still in theaters, and that's expected to make another $32 million in its fourth weekend. The Quiet Place Day at 1 will take third with a drop around 55 to a second weekend haul of 23.5 million. So this is not surprising, but again, what is still surprising is how good Inside Out is doing. Inside Out has already crossed $1 billion. It's crazy.
I was very disappointed because my daughter wanted to go with her friends to this. So it was, I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I did, and it's for everyone, yes, but I kind of would have liked to have that, but I get why she's like, this one's, about dealing with things that people my age are dealing with. Okay,
which is true, and my oldest felt that way too. But I did see it with her, but I also, I would if you had a free screening to it, she probably would have went with you.
Yeah.
So 100%. But she saw it twice. My daughter, she saw it with my wife and my little one too. I was wondering if my little one was going to be able to understand it, and she loved it. So that movie is just crushing. I did not. I think I'd like to go back and see what we all thought what would be the number one, because what else came out? There was anything else that came out that could have competed with it. I just Quiet Place and these other ones. So we would, if I was to guess, we all said Inside Out. If we didn't, we're morons. And then Despicable, what we did say is we didn't know if Despicable Me or Deadpool would be the winner of July. Now that's going to be interesting because it's still, even though it's not going to be it's not going to be the biggest out of the franchise that so far, it's still going to make 200 million worldwide opening weekend and to have a strong hold. There's not a lot of competition.
I think I went the Wolverine Deadpool over Despicable Me.
I might have.
initially, or no? I think I'll stick with that one.
I don't remember what I said as far as what I think will. I could see it going either way as far as what makes the most, because it's hard to bet on a family movie, bet against a family movie, because.
Yeah.
But they make a good point. Despicable. I mean, Inside Out is still out there, and it's. I mean, the fact the first weekend it made whatever it made 150, 160 million its first weekend, is something like that, and it didn't even drop 50. It made 100 million its second weekend. That's crazy. It's second weekend.
I gotta watch that with my wife.
Yeah,
and maybe
it made 100 million, and then if this week I did another 50 or 60 or something, and so they're saying it's going to make 30. I mean, that movie is going to be a beast. It's just a beast, and it's still out there. So fighting against Despicable Me at this point, it's gonna pick at Despicable Me a little bit. So I think that Deadpool might have a shot of being the number one of July at least, because the competition for Despicable Me is out there, and Deadpool won't have much competition at all at that point.
I wonder I don't even know where we're at with like the storyline of Despicable Me.
Me either. I know. The only thing I know, and the only reason I know this
Gru
is because
get married.
I think he got married a while ago. I don't even know. But what I do know is that the only reason I know any of this is because my little one bribed me the other day in order to go to sleep. She wanted to watch the trailer. So because I told her I was going to take her to go see it, and she's like, I gotta. She just basically said what we said. She's like, I gotta catch up and figure out what the hell this thing's about. She's like, show me the trailer. So I showed her the trailer, and it's like, I guess like a few of the minions get superpowers.
Oh,
And I don't know what else it's about, but whatever. It's got minions.
maybe the power of that takes over their minds,
Maybe.
and
It's got minions in it, and that's why it makes $1 billion every time, is because
gibberish talkers.
it doesn't matter what it's about. It's got minions in it. There's minions out this summer. You give them like 3 or 4 years a break, and then you put the minions. You put them running around. You slap a banana in their hand, and then you got a hit. That's it.
Yeah, I think Inside Out, the timing of the way. I mean, does it feel like they did it exactly with the age of the main character in the film?
Well,
Like,
yeah. I mean, as far as it also pairs up to a lot of those kids that grew up with her are now in the same age range.
same age, and so they're like,
it was very, and it's a good movie, and it's a good movie.
That first one killed me.
Yeah, this one will get you too, because you have a daughter the same age.
Yeah,
so you'll get it.
Probably about separating from the
It's not really about separating from the parents as much as about it's her. She's doing that. They did that kind of already. This is more about her going into
anxiety.
Transferring over from into high school, or whatever it is. Right? No, middle school into. I don't freaking remember, but
middle to high.
I think so.
I don't know.
Is that what it is? I think she graduates. She graduates eighth grade. She graduates eighth grade. I think she's 13. I think she's going into high school. But either way, she goes and she's she's got to figure out these things that kids do, and anyway, but that movie Despicable Me coming out and will do very, very well. The other thing, so Brett, did you watch Daredevil on Netflix?
I did not.
Oh man, that was a good one. It was a really good one. And so what happened with Daredevil is they had a few seasons people loved, and then once Marvel or the MCU took over they decided that because it wasn't really part of the MCU, even though they had the character, and then they were going to bring back the show, but it was going to be completely different from the Netflix series, and then they realized, what the hell are we doing? We got to make this exactly like it. So here's the article. After shutting down midway into production due to the strikes, Marvel Studios unexpectedly pivoted on its Daredevil Born Again series. They overhauled the shows. What was going to be a series with only a few connections to the prior Marvel Netflix show has now become a full-fledged fourth season with almost everyone coming back. It goes beyond that, though. According to Brad Winderbaum, Marvel's head of Marvel streaming, television, and animation, appearing on the official Marvel podcast, Winderbaum advises that these are very much the same characters. However, some things have changed in the years since we last saw them, to which he says it's similar in some ways to X-Men 97 because it's reviving something that the fans love, but it's taking it in a new direction. These characters have matured. The universe is different than it was. Things have changed. Society has changed. Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk have changed, and their characters are going to collide in ways we've never seen before. It's no longer enough to try to murder each other. There's a whole game of politics now at play. Talking about the midway change of production, Charlie Cox had nothing but praise for Marvel's course correction abilities. He says Marvel had been incredibly open-minded and willing to correct course and incredibly supportive. Early on, we were trying something that was a bit different, and very quickly they were able to identify that wasn't maybe working as well as it could have done. Where we are now, I think I can speak for both of us that we feel very happy. Daredevil isn't expected to hit Disney Plus until sometime next year. So this is very encouraging for people. Now, when this is the only thing is you have the guy from Marvel on the Marvel podcast talking about a successful Marvel show and X-Men. He's like, everybody loves X-Men. I'll bring up X-Men. It's kind of like X-Men 97. You guys all love that, right? Why wouldn't you say that? It's because it's, hey, people love that right now. Say it's similar to that. And from what he's saying, I understand. But I think this was the right way to go. And you haven't watched the show, but the show was hardcore. And
I may have watched the first couple of them.
You don't remember it.
It came out quite a long time ago, and then you're saying it kind of they redid it in some way.
Well, no, they did. So I think there was 3 seasons, and so they did 3, and they did a Punisher season because Punisher shows up in it, and then they wound up doing like the Defender series, and they did these other things, and then they had the guy who was running TV over there. Kevin Feige took over, so they stopped really doing Netflix shows with Marvel altogether. And then the Disney Plus series started happening. And so there was no Daredevil series. I think the last one, was 2018 or 2019, something like that. And then they did announce that they were going to redo it, but they brought back Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and they brought back Vincent D'Onofrio, but they said, we're going to do a whole new series, and it's called Daredevil Born Again, but it's not the one. It's a multiverse. It has nothing to do with the ones that you saw before, and it's going to be like more like MCU, like Marvel, Disney-fied, if you will, right? And then I guess they looked at the scripts and realized this is not working because they didn't bring back some of the original characters. It wasn't connected, and everybody loved that series. So people were like, "What the hell are you doing? Just make a 4th season. Like, what are you doing?" And I think that he listened. And he said, "Yeah, this is." And they sat back, they waited, and they go, "Let's just redo this whole thing." And I think they were, because it's like a full rated R series, and I think that they were nervous about doing that again, but then they said, let's do it. And I think Echo was kind of like a guinea pig, where Echo had a tone where they're like, well, let's see if the audience will respond. Even the trailer that they had with Echo seemed to really resonate with people. And like, well, if they can do that with Echo, the trailer, why can't you do that with a Daredevil series? And I think that's what they're doing. So you should watch it. I think you would.
Yeah, I just, for some reason, when you said something about being real hardcore, I thought about how we started The Boys. Yep, that's for the boys.
Have you been watching the new season?
Yeah.
Is it good?
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Wow.
I know you beat me. I watched Dark Matter, which I love.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know that one was back. Oh no, Dark Matter.
Dark Matter is the one. Dark Matter is the one I told you about with Jennifer Connelly and Joel Edgerton.
I've got to do that.
That one's great. I watched that one. I watched. I just started The Bear, the new season of The Bear. Have you watched?
There's too many good things.
Have you never watched The Bear yet?
Oh no, I'm done. I'm caught up.
You just haven't watched
I'm ready
the new
to
season.
start the new one. Yeah.
Right. So I haven't checked out The Bear yet because I've been watching The Acolyte for the channel and everything too, and it's like, oh, and House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Still, we've only watched the first one of that.
Of season 1.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
of
you've
the
seen
new
season 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
okay.
All these shows. I'm
caught up. I
didn't even realize The Bear. We were very disappointed. Because when we watched House of the Dragon, there was only the one episode. I was hoping, because we wanted to keep going, and I was like, oh shoot, we actually watched this one fairly early.
You don't watch that with your kids, right?
No.
There's something that happens in episode 3 that I knew my kids were sleeping.
Imagine.
I knew my kids were sleeping, and I still was going like this. making sure that they were nowhere to be found, because there's a scene. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when
I'm sure. Yeah,
you'll know
that one pushes some
exactly what I'm talking
boundaries.
about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. If you've seen the episode 3, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because it was so. Did you ever see the movie Nymphomaniac?
No, that was on a Brett to the Future list so many
Okay.
times.
Well,
and,
there's a particular scene in part 1 that is very similar to something that happens in this, and it's like, or do you ever see Brown Bunny?
no.
Oh, okay. There's another one.
Let me ask you this: Is
Yeah.
Nymphomaniac a good film, or is it just? Because
Well,
everybody wanted me to watch it, and
it's dark.
I assume people always want me to watch things because they were bad.
No, it's not bad. It's just it's
bizarre.
dark, and it's like, I mean, so it's like, yeah, the way they even did it was that the actors themselves in the sex scenes, they had, from what they say, they digitally put their faces on porn stars actually having sex.
Oh, really?
So there's actually people having sex in the movie. But it's like, yeah, it's not, it doesn't glorify. It shows you the dark kind of like addiction to it.
Yeah,
And it's a disturbing film. I saw part 1 and 2. If you like, Lars von Trier, but it's just, I don't really know how to describe it, except it's like,
it's bizarre.
It's bizarre, and it's like, and it's just dark. It's just dark, and I enjoyed the movies. It's just the second half harder to watch than the first, because you just see.
It goes
But it's an addiction movie. It's an addiction movie. It's the drug is sex, and but it's not. You think, oh, people always say all the time. They're like, oh, that would be a good thing to be addicted to. It's like, hell no. Now you see, they really paint how horrible like it is, and the stuff that this woman like just goes throughout it. But yeah. And then what was it? I'm trying to think some other shows. The House of the Dragon, The Boys, I got to catch up on. There's a few other things that are coming out, but yeah, I don't know. There's no real Marvel shows, I don't think, this year. I know there's another Star Wars one for Skeleton Crew at the end of it, but we'll talk about all that in a second. Before we do, I want to move on, and I want to tell you guys about our friends over at Tushy. Brett loves Tushy. Brett has yeah, you like Tushy. You got the Tushies.
I got them in each bathroom.
Each bathroom, you sure do. So I will tell you about Tushy, and I'll tell you about Built. Here you go. Check this shit out. So many comments lately about everybody that's buying the Tushies, and I see why you're buying them. I love them. You love them. Chris Carr loves them. Everybody loves the Tushies. I'm so excited to get you guys to get a Tushy that I almost thought about doing this from the bathroom, but then I was like, no, I want you to get it. It's terrible. That's a terrible thing for me to do, but I want to do it because I want to show you how much I love the Tushies. Check this out alone. Look at this. Just open up the toilet lid. You spray the water right in your tush. It's wonderful. Look at that. That's how it works. It's that easy. You put it on the toilet, you open it up, you spray the water on your butt. It's lovely. It's going to change the way that you think about cleaning up after a spicy dump in a coffee shop or a porta potty during a music festival. You're going to want to take Tushy with you everywhere, and thankfully you can. Because the Tushy Travel, it's collapsible, it's durable, and discreet portable bidet that gives you the most confident clean on the go. I keep telling people about these things. Everybody are getting the Tushies now, and everyone's like, oh, man, can I use your code? Can I use your code? Of course you can. It's the best. I got one. I've got 2 in my house right now, and it is so wonderful. We feel classy in this house. It's got a 3-stream nozzle for a total clean. It's got a new air mesh bag for discreet travel, faster dry time. It comes in 5 new colors. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and 12-month warranty. So stop wiping until you bleed. Join the 2 million butts who have already made the switch to Tushy. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off your entire order, but you got to use that code BIGTHING. 10% off Hello Tushy, HELLTUSHY.com with the promo code BIGTHING. All right, you know what stinks? When you're stuck in a loop of rent payments, you're just watching your money vanish into thin air. It's the worst. It's time to turn the rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. How do you do that? That is where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as the first rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Doesn't matter, even if you're rocking the old school rent check vibes, Built Rewards, it's got your back. They're going to mail the check for you. It's like basically having a personal rent paying assistant. It's the best. Every month, you pay your rent and you watch the points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or a hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/bigthing. That is joinbilt.com/bigthing. So use our URL so they know that we sent you. That's joinbuilt.com/bigthing. Start earning points with your rent payments today. All right. Thank you to both Tushy and Built. Happy to have them on board. Happy to have you guys on board. So make sure you click that description, because that's where the links are, and that's where you can get some stuff, and that's where you can help out this show. All right. So now, try to think of anything else that we missed out on talking about. Like, yeah, so you're getting in here. You're going to be in New York, and then let's be honest. The thing that you're looking forward to the most is the burrata slice.
Oh,
right?
Indeed.
Dude, that place was ranked like one of the top 10 spots in the country as pizza places.
I still can't, like people were like, well, what is so good about the New York? I still, because we went to like a better pizza place rather than Domino's recently, and I was just like, it's the crust wasn't that, the crust seemed like
now
it was,
you're a real New Yorker now. You're comparing.
Yeah. It's just off. The sauce is off.
It's the sauce
is off.
I'll tell you, you know where there is and One Bite Pizza actually reviewed this place also. You and I had a slice from it, and we both loved it. Rose's Pizza in Penn Station. Now, you wouldn't think that Rose's Pizza in Penn Station, you would automatically think it's in Penn Station. How good can it be? It is fantastic. I took Dan Merle there when we had our live show, and it's just, you talk about, I would say, as far as the cheese slice goes that I've had since I've been back, it's the best cheese slice. It's the best cheese.
Very flavorful sauce with that one as well too. I really get the difference in, and I mean, you're like, oh, it's just tomato sauce, but there's something, I don't know, I don't know if they give away what they're using.
No, I like the cheese, and there's there's a few different places that I went to, and I posted about Pizzeria G, which is a place that I went to that I really liked a lot. I'm going to get the owner of the pizzeria actually on the podcast. That's how much I like that place. But there was they have a good chicken Parmesan slice over there. But there's a bunch of different places that I want to try that I just can't. I haven't had the opportunity, because it's been. I was telling my wife it's been way more. I thought it was going to be less busy for me here. It's 10 times busier for me now in the studio than it ever was before.
Sounds like it with all the interviews and stuff.
It's the interviews. It's the fact that for some reason and the last couple of days I've gotten, because the time change was tough too. I was getting in because I was like, because I fooled myself and said, well, everybody else isn't waking up until 9 o'clock their time. That's 12 my time, so I'll have time. I'm like, but it doesn't work that way, because I got to be out of here by whatever time I'm out for, family stuff. But I was in here at 9 o'clock. I blinked my eyes. It's 6 o'clock already, and I guess because managing the other channel, which I got to do 2 videos when we get off the air. I got to do 2 more videos, so I have something for July 4th. I got to have this, and then I got to have two videos for. I got to do one for today on the UAP channel, and then one that sets for tomorrow. So it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot, but and Roxy keeps telling me to get an intern, but I'm like, what am I going to do with an intern? I mean,
I don't see, like, even if I were there, I don't see you handing off anything like.
Not like that. Not that stuff. No, the only thing I need, look, I want, and you know this already, we've talked about this. I want my shot right now to look like your shot right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be the thing. We're going to paint in the background. We're going to put some more. So the pictures, by the way, and you didn't answer me this question. So these we're getting more that go over here or back there.
Over there on
Or
the
the one on the
I
bricks.
thought I answered that.
You didn't. But on the bricks, right?
Yeah, on the
Okay,
brick.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
we're gonna
don't.
get some
I
more.
mean, the other pictures will be. I mean, if you want to get stuff for those framed ones, but
Well, yeah,
no,
those frames ones. I
think
mean, the pictures of like the ones that we've took with guests and everything. That feel like that's going to be in the guest room, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I would probably, I'll take Vader out from behind you and maybe put that on the other. Like
Oh, okay.
things that you're blocking will move
Yeah.
around and kind of frame you with pictures.
You better clear that with my wife. She has a very structured way that she put those things up. Oh, I got to tell you, I got stories about this fridge, the one from Sears. I got stories. Stories. Anyway, well, it's July 4th, so we're gonna let people go early today.
Go blow your dick off.
For real.
Now
The
you're
shit I
talking.
did when I was a kid, man.
I'm sure you did. Hey,
I'm lucky I have fingers.
Hey.
Because Nebraska, we had everything, and we weren't supposed to have it, but Missouri's right across the border, and we got a bunch of like crazy shit.
can I tell you the story of the time I met my friend? She was a pelican, of course. And I took a Roman candle and put it right in her asshole. You thought I was going to say something else, but now you were right the first time. It was the asshole. And I said, hey, little pelican. And she said, hey, baby, what's going on? What's she doing? I said, you want this Roman candle? She said, only if you stick it in my asshole. And I said, okay. And then we was on fire, Brett. We was on fire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you could feel the air
the air. You're a dirty motherfucker.
coming off.
You're dirty. I like you. You're good. You're good, Brett. We're cool.
We used to have fights with Roman candles.
Yeah, I did that.
Shoot them at each
Yeah,
other.
you shoot them at each other. I remember that.
Yes.
Weirdos. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Then then I'll try to get you one of these.
Yeah, that's sweet.
These are great. Yeah, check this. And you power them up. You'd like this because you like to do everything from apps, and this one powers up from the app.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty great. So, all right, Brett.
So you can have it on the wall and just somebody come in and like.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to tell you is that I have the mounts. I have the mounts for it.
Oh, nice.
But I'm gonna tell you honestly because you're gonna be like, oh, really? Great job. I unboxed everything that I could. I couldn't get to anything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't. All day. I've been.
I wouldn't want you to.
That's probably true. That's probably true. All right, where can they find you, and where's this channel again?
The Above Board TV on the YouTubes, and then the new one, the podcast is on all the podcast places. I believe Everything's a Game by Above Board TV.
All right. So there you have it. I hope you had a wonderful July 4th. I hope that, and I'm going to guess that if you're listening to this, then you're probably hammered out of your tits. And if that's the case, good. Eat your hot dogs, have your cheeseburgers, do whatever you want. And vegans, same thing. You have your vegan treats. For me, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I know that I'll be back here tomorrow. So we've got Capes and Cowls with Winston and Coy. Next week is packed. I'm going to see that movie that Brett wants to see with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to see that on Monday. And I'll have an out of the theater reaction. I've got an interview with Sam Morrell on Tuesday with Roxy. Got a lot of stuff. And then I got to pick Brett up from the airport. So lots of stuff to do. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. And we'll see you later.